Welcome, everybody. This is Jay Bassell, the Marketing Director at Equipment Zone, and I am pretty doggone excited. We have an amazing opportunity today. So thrilled that so many of you have tuned in. Hello to all of our friends that are in the chat room, chatting it up. We've got a special announcements webinar today, and I'm thrilled because we've got our team in New Jersey live with us. Amy and the team are in New Jersey. Hello, Amy.
Hello, everyone.
Amy looks like she's doing a commercial for QVC, but she's not. And I'm just excited that she's here. Thanks to everyone behind the screen over there that's gotten prepared. Terry is here. Roy is here. He's in the background, by the way. Terry, you're coming live from your home office, if I'm not mistaken.
I am in my home office where most people are used to seeing me do webinars as well. So
Love it. Well, I'm here in the Easy Solutions Center in Tempe, Arizona. It's kind of a big deal for us, a new shot, a new angle. You can see Roy slaving away back there. He's still working. He's got some tech calls and some support to do. So if you see him moving around or a printer start to print, don't be too surprised because this is our new Solutions Center. And behind him, you can see some more going on, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I suppose that really is the first announcement, is that we're in our new Arizona location. We have a new office. We're excited about the size. We're excited that it's so close to the airport. And we've got some great solutions because we've got our new EasyJet Pro 24 printer sitting right behind me. And so, Terry, you know it's a big deal when we can get everything in the room and we can have a couple of heat presses and a speed treater and the Epson F2100 DTG printer. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday, we had a couple of VIPs, or was that Wednesday? You had two groups come by. What's going on?
I did, Jay, and you mentioned being close to the airport because both of those folks were from California and came in for one came in for a demo on the EasyJet Pro, and the other came in for a demo on the F2100 and speed treater and that package. And so Roy had a full day of demonstrating and printing customer files, and it's pretty cool. And if anybody would like to come to either the New Jersey location or the Tempe, Arizona location, just reach out to us and we can schedule a demo for you. Can't just show up because our techs, as you can see back in the background there, Roy is working away doing tech support, and both the locations, they do a lot of training as well. But we can always get you scheduled in, and we'd love to have you come in and print your files and let you see how the machines operate. So reach out to us.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for reminding us of how to show up. Don't just show up. I mean, we'd love to see you, but it's a much better scenario if you can set an appointment firsthand. It's kind of critical, in fact. So yes, thank you. Behind me, you can see the Solution Center. And if you look back even further, you're going to see some glass back there. There's another room. That's going to be our future learning lab here in Arizona. So that's another mini announcement I'm excited to talk about, because although it's not yet built out, we will be working on that, and we'll be giving you some more information about an upcoming Arizona open house, as well as some pending training that will happen. We're probably going to sneak two of those in between now and before the end of the year. One might happen in New Jersey, one might happen here. We're not 100% sure yet. That's why we can't give you that info, those dates, but it is going to happen. So those are some more mini announcements. We're just full of announcements today. I guess that's why we titled it webinar special announcements. Who knew? But let's send it over to New Jersey. I'd love to hear more from Amy. Amy's been quiet, which is not her normal position in life. She likes to share. She's got lots to say. But Amy, I'm so glad you could be here. What are the two next big announcements that you can share with us?
Well, first of all, I have to welcome everyone to New Jersey. I know in the past we've shown you the full show of the equipment that we have here. Today we set it up just a little differently. This is what I like to call our QVC of Equipment Zone.
The QVC studio. I love that.
QVC studio. So we have, of course, the tried and true Epson F2100 printer, which you all know about, which we're very proud of. And as being the largest reseller in the country, if not the world, we've always got it on hand for us. But what I also want to show you and tell you about are two very exciting products that we have now. So first of all, we have now launched a hot peel film. So our hot peel film, I don't know if you can see this, but this is our friend Popeye.
Nice.
Our hot peel film is due to popular demand. Everybody wants to get their jobs done fast. And now we have got a film. It can also be used for cold peel as well, if you choose to do it that way. It does come in sheets. We've got our boxes here and rolls. So we are ready to go. Everything is in stock and ready to ship for hot peel DTF transfers. Of course, the other thing is our great little DTF Easy Cure. The Easy Cure is a desktop, very simple to use. It has a drawer, and you just slide the drawer out and you put your film in there. And in under a minute, you're going to have a perfectly cured piece of film. Plugs in, very simple to use and operate. But the key here is curing in under a minute, because that's been a big issue with people who are getting involved with DTF. So we're real happy about our Easy Cure dryer.
I love it. Awesome. Under a minute. That is a big deal. Let's be real. Kidding aside, jokes aside, curing that film in under a minute is efficient, and I love it.
Yeah. I was just talking to a customer before we started, and he's been doing it with his heat press at an average of about 4 minutes for a piece of film. So now he'll be able to do 4 in the time it took him to do 1.
Wow, I can't do the math, but that's a big percentage gain in efficiency. Terry, you graduated from college. Maybe you could do those numbers.
Well, you can cure these films in a variety of ways. You can use a small conveyor dryer. You can use your heat press, a bottom heat element, or just your regular heat press by clamping it down and heating up that bottom element. It does take longer. It takes about 90 seconds to cure that film in that manner. Plus, it ties up your heat press. So with this little tabletop unit, and we have some special pricing on it right now on our website. With the tabletop unit, it separates that function, and you can keep using your heat press for DTG or DTF transfers as well. So it's a great item. I want to add one thing. You do need to have, imagine this as a heat press. So you do need to have the amperage as if it were a heat press to have it work properly for you.
Well said, my friend.
Important. Yes.
Yes. Amy, thank you. We have Paige Waters who said, I have one and it's awesome. Thank you, Paige.
Fantastic.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Amy, so much. That was very informative, very exciting. But Jay, we have a couple of other things that on the horizon that we can't quite show you yet. We still have the silk sheet over them, but 2 things. One is for the folks that you see that EasyJet Pro back there, it's a rather large machine. So we are introducing a 17-inch wide film printer that will fit through an interior doorway. So watch for that over the next couple of weeks, and you'll see that on our website, and we'll be available to ship very soon. And Jay, a thing that I'm really excited about, and along the lines of doing DTF transfers in cut sheets using your Epson DTG printer, is we have in development right now, and we're looking forward to seeing a prototype soon, is a single sheet dryer. I'm sorry, a single sheet powder shaker. So you just load in the single sheet, press the button, all enclosed, so no adhesive powder, floating in the air or anything, all enclosed, and it's going to powder that transfer. It's going to shake it, and then you can put it into your Easy Cure oven, and less than a minute later, your transfer is ready to go. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Thank you, Terry. Another couple of sneaky little announcements that are pending, and we're thrilled with the development here at Equipment Zone. And I'm going to go off topic just for a second, because me, if we can't mix it up and show something unique and special and different, DTF is opening up a lot of new doors, you guys, and it's kind of one of these things where I get to experiment. And there's a saying here at Equipment Zone: if Jay can do it, anybody can do it. And I've just found out that rather than ask Roy for permission, I'd rather ask for forgiveness. So I sneak in here and I start doing koozies, and I'll start doing cork coasters and all kinds of fun things. I'm just reaching over to the side here because who knew, right? I mean, these are cork coasters. These are wood coasters. They're a lot of fun. They're easy to apply. And here's what I do. I just turn the heat press down to about 275, 272 degrees for as little time as I can on the lightest pressure I can. And I just start working up, and I see how far I can go. And so we've always got this little test kitchen here, and that's another reason why we're so excited to have a little bit bigger presence here in Arizona. So yeah, DTG opening up so many new doors, and I love the fact that we're going to have a 17-inch, the easy DTG 17-inch. It's kind of a or DTF Pro. Sorry, I'm getting all my acronyms mixed up. Maybe that's the cold medicine, but we'll be giving you more information on the website. Pay attention to our website, to our emails, and so on and so forth. But you know what, Terry? I mean, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what gets you excited. So I'm pretty excited just for all of these announcements at this point. I just want to, before we say goodbye, I want to say, hey, thanks, Amy, for doing your easy QVC studio.
But Jay, we have a special guest from California. Let's not forget. And by the way, I think in your employee file, it says, Jay Bassell, let's see how far we can go.
I pushed the limits. Did I forget our friend, our special guest, the one and only Paul G. Morales from Epson in California? How could I possibly make that mistake, Terry?
What's going on, everyone? Yeah, Jay, how could you forget about us over here?
No, you know me. It's early, a little extra cold medicine to get me through my morning. But Paul, no, jokes aside, we knew you were there standing in the wings the whole time. I'm so excited that you're here. Thanks to everybody over there, both in front of the camera and behind the camera. We couldn't do any of this without you, really. And you're the star announcement. You're the reason we decided to have this webinar. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. And we can't wait for you to introduce that cool, sexy new printer that's right next to you.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate the introduction, Jay. Thank you very much. And Terry, Amy, great stuff on your end as well. As Jay mentioned, we're all very excited over here at Epson to talk about and introduce our all new SureColor F2270 printer. So I'm going to be talking about some highlights, some key features, but let's talk more rock. Let's load some film and let's get started with some printing. So we're going to start with a digital transfer film print. We're going to just load it right on top of our hanger platen like so, and press our print buttons. As our print gets ready to print, we can actually take a look at our control panel now, and we have a little bit more of a close-up look as to what's going on. So we're going to take a look there, and you can see the different information that we have as far as maintenance, what kind of shirt that we're running, what kind of print mode, that sort of thing, the name of the print file. So we have all of the information right there at our disposal. And then there's our print beginning. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a clear cover. There's some nice bright LED lights going on in there. So it makes it very easy to see what you're doing while you're doing it. Now we're printing on a digital transfer film. So we are printing a CMYK first in reverse, and then we're printing a white layer on top of that. And then after this process is done, you take it off to your offline equipment. Amy was showing us some of that piece of equipment over there. We can drop some hot melt adhesive powder on there, run it through that curing oven. As Amy said, just takes about a minute, which is very quick, makes it really easy for you to handle the product right away, get it over to the materials that you want to transfer it to, and then off you go. So there's a lot of different items that you could transfer digital transfer film to, and that could be things like tote bags, like shoes, like hats. We have different items over here. So it's really efficient at being able to transfer onto multiple different types of items. So if you want to save some time and not have to pre-treat certain things, you can do a digital transfer film and make your life a whole lot easier. Now, as we've completed that, we're going to go ahead and we are going to load a shirt into print. So as this one finishes up, I think I sent too many copies there, Jay. Let me hit cancel here. So
hey, it's the benefit of live printing, Paul. You know,
we love it.
You got to have a little fumble here and there. I mean, no big deal.
No worries. So we're going to just set that off to the side, and then we're going to load our shirt here. So what I like about the hanger platen, number one, this is included with every printer. It's a 14x16 medium platen. And with this hanger, it makes it very easy to quickly load garments straight and centered each and every time you load your shirt. So all we do is we'll simply thread it on here. We'll bring it all the way back. We'll pull it forward. And you can see I have nice, steady, even alignment on my garment.
Hey, Paul, before you go further, I noticed you haven't changed the platen or done anything. You took the film off and you popped a shirt on. Is that Is that a big deal? Is that what's going on over there?
Yeah, so actually, what's nice about this is when we switch from a digital film, digital transfer film onto a garment, there's no manual adjustment necessary for the actual platen. So there's garment thickness optimization sensors in here. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into it. But essentially what's happening is there's sensors that will detect what's on top of the platen, and it will create a profile as to what's loaded. And then the print heads inside the carriage will actually adjust to the appropriate height. So the platen doesn't move at all. All of the movement happens within the print heads inside the carriage. And it's sort of like autofocus for your prints, which is really great. So as I showed you, just kind of loading and unloading shirts is a breeze. We can grab another one over here and we just take it over.
Well, while you're doing that, yesterday you talked a little about the print head. What can you tell us about print performance with this print head?
I'm sorry, could you say that again, Amy? I missed that.
Yeah, sure. Yesterday you talked about the print head. What can you tell us about print performance? How is that going to be different with this new printer?
Thank you very much for repeating that. So sorry, we were just getting our next file ready and we're going to send it off to print. So why don't we talk about that? So as far as print performance, the performance on here, regular sellable quality, everyday goods, you're looking at about upwards of about 20 dark garments per hour. Now, when we talk about that number, well, what is 20 garments? When you hear us talk about print speed and number of garments that we can print, what we're always referring to is a full size 14 by 16 medium shirt with white underbase, followed by CMYK color, armpit to armpit, chest to belt buckle. So we're not talking about small logos up on the chest. Of course, you can drastically increase these numbers depending on what print modes that you are using. If you're doing vintage designs, you can obviously crank up the machine into some draft modes and get some really high speed out of it. But generally for sellable goods that look great on any sort of application, you're looking at about upwards of 20 dark garments per hour per machine. So with a garment, we're printing a solid white underbase, and then we're going to follow that up with a CMYK color. One great aspect about this machine is we have an all-new Ultra Chrome DG2 ink set for the colors, and that improves the color clarity and the vibrancy. And you'll definitely see it when this print comes out. Jay, thank you for sending us a nice, vibrant, rich, colorful file that will help really showcase and highlight this new ink set.
You got it. My pleasure. I was excited to see it print. So selfishly, we wanted to have a fun graphic that would pop and show some vibrancy, show the showcase the machine, right? Let's see what these inks in this printer can do.
Absolutely. So you can see after the white layer is done, it automatically did the full pass of white, move back, come back, does the color. It does that in a much shorter amount of time. And we have a wider print head on here, so we get a little bit more print speed out of that as well. So it's a new precision core print head. So there's the print all done, ready to go, ready to switch on to another design. And you can see just how bright and vibrant we get right there.
Love it.
So very, very fun. So I'm going to set this off to the side over by my heat press. And we're going to grab another shirt. And so we'll send something else through. So again, we have our quick hanger platen loading system, which makes loading shirts a breeze. Just like so. And then off we go. So it makes it really easy for you to switch from film to shirts to garments, whatever you're printing, go back and forth, make it really easy to do that.
Love that. Paul, we've had a few folks say, so is pre-treatment still needed? Because they've noticed that you just went over, grabbed a shirt and loaded it. So maybe you could tell us about the pre-treatment.
Absolutely, yeah. So with the pre-treatment, anytime you are printing with white ink, regardless of what color shirt you're going on, whether it's a black shirt, blue, red, whatever the case may be, if you want to put white ink down on the shirt, you want to pre-treat it. Otherwise, if you're not laying down white ink, let's say we're printing on a white shirt, a light gray, a beige, and we just want to print our CMYK colors, no need to do any pre-treat there. When we're talking about polyester, 100% poly or 50-50 poly cotton blends, you have a number of options right there. So we do offer a polyester pre-treatment that works great for 100% polyester, but you also have the option to produce a digital transfer on film, which is great. And so that's another thing that you can do with polyester. You kind of have the option to do one or the other, which is awesome.
Paul, I noticed that that the menu screen with that very large image that popped up on the screen, it looks like a lot more options there on the menu screen, and it looks very intuitive. Absolutely.
So when a job is sent over to the printer, the user will actually be able to see all of the different information. So they can see, as you can see there off to the left-hand side, you can create presets for different garments that you run, but it's really not needed. This is very user-friendly, very easy to use. It's kind of like a one-size-fits-all sort of thing, but you can see your temperature, your humidity, you can see the printer's state, the ink levels, maintenance, that sort of thing. All of that information is right there at your disposal.
You know, Paul, that's one thing that when I was reading about this new machine, that when I saw that has the humidity level and the temperature on the screen, I thought, oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's very convenient to have. We saw enough that engineers have hygrometers and temperature gauges and things like that in print rooms. So we figured, why not just throw it right on the equipment?
Wow, look at that print.
And there we go. There's our little dabbing astronaut there. We'll hold that one up so everyone can take a look.
I love it. That's a beautiful print.
Mm-hmm.
So Paul, in yesterday's webinar, where Epson introduced the machine to the world, you mentioned a new version of Garment Creator. What kind of improvements can we see in Garment Creator? How's it going to be different?
Excellent question. So coming with the F2270 is an all new version of Garment Creator called Garment Creator 2. And one of the biggest improvements right off the bat is you have 4 times the resolution and processing power for that software going to the machine. So why is this important to have 4 times the resolution? Well, since we've improved our quality in our colors, our CMYK inks, improved the color quality, the clarity, the sharpness, and the detail, we wanted to take full advantage of that. And as some of you that may be dye sub users in here that are familiar with our Epson EdgePrint Pro and the ability to raise input resolution, we now have that same option with Garment Creator 2 for our DTG prints. So if you're printing very high-end, detailed type of graphics where you want rich, vibrant color, or maybe you're printing photographs or things of that nature, you can take full advantage of 4 times the resolution now. Now, there's also some new print modes in there as well to kind of boost up, make prints even more vibrant and vivid. So we have a vivid color profile option in addition to the auto profiles. You can plug in your own profile if you want to manipulate and modify colors and things like that. So you still have all of the same controls and level of control and features that you had before with our existing versions of Garment Creator, but we've added that resolution, and that's a big thing right there. Now, one of the other things that the printer takes advantage of with that is its faster processing power in terms of streaming jobs over to the printer. So you probably noticed earlier when we were printing on film and then we switched to shirts, the prints started much more quickly than they typically do. And that's because the printer is able to stream data just much more quickly over to the printer, get it started, get that job done sooner. Furthermore, in between shirts, if I were running, let's say 10 or 20 shirts in a row, there's now less time wasted in between one shirt. So my next shirt starts much sooner than it did before. In other words, when I take off a printed shirt and I load the next shirt and I press the print button, it's essentially ready to go right off the bat. And then it starts pretty quickly.
That's huge production wise. And Paul, real quick, we've had multiple people in the comments say, what other, once Garment Creator 2 is available, what other printers will it drive?
So it's going to ship with when the printer starts shipping, it will have Garment Creator 2 ready to go for that printer. And so that's what's going to be currently available at this time.
What about the people that have F2100s and they're going to add an F2270 though?
So the Garment Creator 2 does not drive the F2100, but it will drive the F2270 and up.
Okay, very good.
Mm-hmm. So any users that have an F2100 and then also add F2270, you'll have the two versions of software, one for each.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Very good. Hey, so I know you can kind of hear Roy in the background, but that's okay. Before we got started, we had a little conference and he said, listen, here's what I want you to ask Paul. And I was like taking notes down. And I said, okay, of course, he's our lead technician and he's definitely a thorough in terms of wanting to know how we should set expectations in terms of maintenance. Is this something that's going to change? Are there any improvements? What can you share with us, Paul, regarding daily or weekly maintenance? Has there been any change, any upgrades, anything new?
Great question. So those that are already familiar with our products are familiar with our fabric wiper cassette. And so we still have that in this machine. We have anti-dry cap tops. We have an all new suction cap system, which actually reverse fills. We have maintenance liquid that's right in here that helps keep the nozzles very, very clean. Whenever you're doing auto cleanings or even light cleanings, you have the ability to kind of control what you actually want to clean. So we have a new cleaning feature with the auto clean. And so if I have nozzles that are missing in just a specific channel, then I can focus on just that channel when I'm cleaning. So I'm actually minimizing the amount of time it takes to perform maintenance, as well as minimizing the amount of ink that's required to use. As far as manual maintenance that's required, we're talking about just a few minutes, about once or twice per month, depending on the volume that you produce. The machine really does an excellent job of maintaining itself. Now, there's also filtration system throughout the machine, and it actually starts right in the ink cartridge. So in terms of white ink, you don't have to worry about white ink clogging or causing any issues there. The white ink auto circulates while the operator is running their jobs, and there's no ink that's actually used or wasted during that process, which is great. Furthermore, you don't have to stop the machine in order to perform white ink circulations or cleanings. It's going to do that automatically for you, which is great. And one other added benefit of it is our nozzle verification technology. So let's say I have 1 or 2 missing nozzles after I've already started printing. So I'm 10, 15, 20 shirts in. Well, the great part about this printer is it actually will detect in real time the health of our nozzles. And if it detects that there's a nozzle missing, let's say on my white number 1 channel, in real time, while we're printing, it's automatically going to use a neighboring nozzle to fire in its place, while it still actively works on cleaning and purging that nozzle. So this is a huge bonus for the users out there, because now you're not going to have to stop your machine, perform cleanings, check my test print. Okay, everything looks good. Now let me pick back up in production. You just simply keep running along and the printer takes care of all of that for you.
Excellent. You did say cartridges, so I just want to make sure everybody realizes it's
yeah, no, I apologize. Yeah, so ink pack. So we're looking at 800 milliliter ink pack. So there's no more cartridges on our 2270.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Terry.
Absolutely. We always have somebody call us out afterwards. Oh, but you said.
Yeah, and a lot of folks are in the chat room saying, how much for the ink? How much for the ink? You know, there's a lot of details that we don't yet know that Epson is still working on. We hope to have those figured out soon. So for those of you who've asked, we still don't know. As soon as they know, they're going to let us. As soon as we know, we'll inform you. So thank you for those questions. Obviously, that's a key piece of the puzzle. We understand that. No reason to lose your minds over having just purchased some ink. Because it's going to still be something that's going to run and keep you in production for the printers that you do have. But I recognize that. I know that's a key piece of the puzzle. As soon as we know, we'll keep you posted. So what I wanted to do though was, you know, Paul, if there's nothing else, I don't want to cut you. I don't want to take any time away from you, because, you know, we got you. So this is a big deal for us. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Is there anything else that, you know, you're excited about? Is there something that you know, you've been playing with this printer for a while now. So anything else to share?
Well, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but the garment thickness optimization, a huge upgrade on this machine. And so there's essentially sensors that are right inside, right underneath the cover. And when that platen goes in, those sensors are detecting what's on top of the platen. So I could have a piece of film, I could have a shirt, whatever I have loaded on there. It's going to detect what's loaded on the platen, and the print heads inside the carriage will actually raise to the appropriate platen gap. So there's no manual adjustment that's required on the platen. The platen itself actually does not raise or lower on its own whatsoever. And off you go. So that's something that is really convenient. Now, we touched a little bit on the maintenance earlier. One other thing that I wanted to add on and mention to that is that the printer will come with a 1-year limited warranty, but you do have options to extend the coverage with service plans for up to a total of 5 years. And that is really, really huge. It's very much unheard of in the DTG world to be able to cover a product for 5 years, but it really just speaks to the confidence that we have in the product and how well it's going to work for you.
You know, I was mentioning it's the little details that I like to see, the temperature, the humidity on there. I'm looking at this printer, seeing a nice flat top, unlike previous models. I'm picturing my laptop sitting there, Paul.
Absolutely, yeah. Laptop could be on here. A T-shirt could be on there. Very nice. So really easy to do.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Terry.
Right.
Terry, you had another. Sorry, I'm also trying to jump in here and read some chats. So lots of great questions. If we don't get to all of your questions right this moment, we will definitely follow up with you ASAP. So thank you for asking. Thank you for some of the feedback that we've seen. But Terry, you still had something that you were going to talk a little bit about. So I want to give it over to you.
Well, I asked a question about Garment Creator. Are you wanting me to go through the timeline at this point? Oh, you're nodding yes. It must be noisy in the background there. Yes. Well, basically 17, 18 years ago, it was the T-Jet. I was on the bleeding edge of introducing that machine. Equipment Zone was the #1 reseller of T-Jets in the world during that time. That's how I got to know Harry Osser as well as I did. So Paul, 9, 10 years ago, the F2000. 5 years ago, the F2100. So now we're at the F2270. Looks like it's going to be very versatile. It's going to be a great opportunity to make money, I think. And you know, I think that the fact that this machine has been introduced as a dual machine, you know, we kind of took the F2100 and said, hey, you know, I think we can do DTF transfers. But I think, Paul, you guys have embraced the DTF transfer opportunity here so we can decorate more products.
Absolutely. And it really opens the door to so many more possibilities and keeping that machine running. And most importantly, for all of you users out there that are printing DTG, continuously making money. So if you don't have any garment jobs, you can still be making transfers on the shoes, hats, totes, all sorts of different things. Jay held up a bunch of cool items that now you got my wheels spinning. So I may need to hit back in the shop and get some R&D going again. We could talk more about that. But, you know, Terry, you made a great point. Equipment Zone's been with us from the very beginning with DTG, and they've gone through all of our different generations. So this is a very exciting time for all of us, and we're pleased to share this with you and your audience.
Well, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. I know there's been on my mind a couple of key words. I keep thinking about versatility, creativity, and opportunity. And I see this printer kind of wholeheartedly embracing that. And so for us, it's super exciting, but more so for our customer base. You know, one of the things that we pride ourselves at Equipment Zone is really getting in the trenches and saying, how is this machine, how is this new technology going to help you increase your bottom line? So yes, it's a very cool, very sexy new printer, but we also need to be able to speak in terms of this is what it can do for you. Here are the benefits. Here are the opportunities. So, I mean, thank you so much, Paul. The time that you've taken to every word you said, it's like there was another question popping in the chat because it's so new and so exciting. So we can't really take all of your day, but we wanted to say thank you 100 times over for being our special guest on these special announcements. Thank you. I got to make sure I say this right, because I used to say Solution Center, but you guys have kind of upgraded. You're like in this executive briefing. What exactly do you call it?
So we are now in a executive briefing center. So a few years back, we got a brand new building. A lot of people have known us for a very long time to be in Long Beach, just by the airport. But we have a all new, just absolutely enormous facility. It's actually 2 buildings with a bridge connecting them, which is kind of cool. And so all of our large format printing products, from our DTG, our dye sub, our signage, our graphics, all the way down to the photo series, and even our SurePress label printers, even our direct to textile Mona Lisa 8000, we now have everything all under one building. And so our executives, all the way up to our CEO and everybody on the executive staff, our VPs, they love taking customers through here for product tours. And so therefore, we are now in the executive briefing center. So
Nice.
Anybody that's down in California that wants to check things out, contact Equipment Zone. You can come in, we can get a demo scheduled, and then you can really see firsthand, go on the tour yourselves. You'll see the full story of Epson and how we started, where we came up with the idea for piezo inkjet printhead systems, and what it's grown into today with our precision core printheads, which is really the heart of all of our equipment. So we're really excited to be in this all new facility. We're taking full advantage of that. We have several displays that we can do webinars and live events and different things like that, just like I'm standing in front of right now. So yeah, it's a very fun place to be for sure.
Can't wait to see it. Can't wait next time we're in town, Southern California. I'll bring the In-N-Out burgers if you can let us into that executive briefing center. How about that?
Absolutely. There's one not far from here, so we're in.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time. Paul, seriously, we're excited. Can't wait to learn more. As we learn more, folks, for everyone that's tuned in today live, thank you for being here. If you're watching this, as it will be posted on YouTube, we're sure there will be more questions and following with more answers. But before we say goodbye totally, I want to throw it back over to Amy and everybody in New Jersey. First of all, to say thank you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being in the, you know what, Amy, it's not the QVC studio, it's the Easy Studio. That's where you're coming live from.
Studio. Right. Well, we want to thank everybody for viewing. And remember, this is our certified solution center. We have all the technologies here to demonstrate and show you. This is where we do a lot of R&D as well, filled with equipment. And we're always happy to have our customers come in and actually see them in action. So contact me if you're interested, and we'd love to have you come over.
Love it.
Thank you so much, Paul. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Terry, back to you. Any other announcements, last minute reminders?
Absolutely, Jay. The estimated list price on the F2270 is going to be $18,995, shipping this fall. And just a reminder that we are still selling F2100s. We have large inventory. We love this printer, and at $10,995, it's you can't beat the price, and it is still the #1 selling DTG printer in the world. So don't close your mind to the F2100, because it's still an awesome printer and price really right now, and we could ship you one tomorrow.
Spoken like a real salesman. But listen, that's all we have for today. Thank you for everyone who's joined us, for everybody who's been a part of this, those in front of the camera and those behind the camera. We're excited at Equipment Zone to talk about technology and these special announcements, whether it be from Arizona or from New Jersey or special guests from California. So please tune in. Don't forget, this will be posted on the Equipment Zone YouTube channel. And if you'd like to watch it again, just for giggles, or if you have coworkers, or invite a friend. But we'd love to know that you're a subscriber to our e-newsletters as well as our YouTube channel. So I'll say goodbye until we see each other soon. Thank you again. Take care and be good.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.